Matthew never expected his simple search for a cheap car to plunge him straight into a criminal investigation. Before we continue, please take some time to subscribe to Dailydose, like, and share this video. He had a modest budget and decided to attend a local police auction, hoping to find something affordable. But what started as a normal purchase quickly took an unexpected twist when Matthew decided to clean out his new car. As he reached into the door compartment, his heart nearly stopped. Something was hidden inside, something that was clearly never meant to be found. What exactly had Matthew stumbled upon? When Matthew's trusty old car finally broke down, he was crushed. It had been his father's car, the vehicle he learned to drive in. Saying goodbye was tough, but he had no choice. He desperately needed transportation. That evening, Matthew scoured the internet for second-hand car deals, eventually landing on a police auction website. This platform auctioned off vehicles seized by police, usually when their previous owners couldn't pay the fees. Most cars were battered, but one sedan caught Matthew's eye. It looked oddly clean and was selling at a suspiciously low price. Curiosity piqued. Matthew took a bus to the impound lot the next morning. As a 35-year-old buying his first real vehicle, excitement surged through him. Walking around the sedan, he noted its immaculate exterior. "Why so cheap?" he asked the impound owner skeptically. The man shrugged, explaining honestly that he simply managed the lot. The cars came as is, with little background provided. Satisfied with this straightforward answer, Matthew bought the vehicle, unaware of the dark secret hidden beneath its shiny paint. Driving home, Matthew enjoyed country music on the radio, but his serenity was disturbed by a strange rattling noise coming from somewhere inside the car. It wasn't loud, but persistent enough to concern him. Back home, Matthew parked in his garage and examined the sedan carefully. Inspecting the paint job closely, he noticed something odd, a tiny paint chip revealing another color beneath the surface. Curious, he grabbed a paint scraper from his workbench and gently peeled away more paint. Matthew's heart jumped into his throat. Underneath lay a golden letter P and part of a star emblem. Realization hit him like lightning. This wasn't just a regular car. It was a police vehicle disguised under a new paint job. Fascinated, he scraped away more to reveal the full emblem clearly. Owning a genuine police car felt thrilling, yet Matthew knew there might be more secrets awaiting discovery. Climbing back inside proudly, Matthew shut the driver's side door, instantly triggering that mysterious rattling again. Determined to find answers without dismantling the car completely, he did the next best thing. He called the local police department, feeling like a detective himself. A policeman answered promptly, greeting him formally. Matthew described the repainted police vehicle and the strange rattling sound. The officer paused, surprised. "Repainted?" he repeated, clearly puzzled. He confirmed that the department sometimes auctioned old vehicles meant for demolition, but repainting was unusual. Intrigued, the policeman requested the sedan's license plate number to dig deeper. Matthew quickly provided it, unaware that this detail would soon unravel a deeper, more disturbing mystery. As the officer searched his database, Matthew finally asked his most pressing question. Could something inside a police car door panel cause that rattling? The officer hesitated, explaining plainly that door panels typically held nothing special, yet something else had emerged in his search. The car previously belonged to a former police officer, a familiar name to this precinct, someone who had abruptly resigned not long ago. As Matthew listened intently, he absent-mindedly fiddled with the screwdriver beside him. Suddenly, without warning, the entire door panel popped off, startling him. As the panel clattered to the floor, Matthew's eyes widened at what lay hidden behind it, a clear plastic bag containing several strange items. With shaking hands, he pulled out the contents, a handgun, a small tape recorder, and a stack of Polaroid photographs. As Matthew glanced at the images, his face turned pale. The photos depicted a disturbing Sania, lifeless body lying outside a bank. Horrified, Matthew gasped loudly, momentarily forgetting the officer was still listening on the phone. "What's happening, sir?" the officer asked urgently, noticing Matthew's changed demeanor. Struggling for breath, Matthew described the chilling discovery in detail, voice trembling. "There's something seriously wrong here. I'm looking at evidence from a crime scene," he managed to whisper. The policeman's tone grew grave as he asked for clarity. Were these images from an old crime scene or something recent? Matthew quickly explained they appeared to document an event from the past. The policeman, realizing the seriousness of the situation, immediately instructed Matthew to remain calm and not move. "I have officers coming to your location right now," he said firmly before hanging up. Panic surged through Matthew. He stared at the disturbing evidence laid out before him, suddenly realizing how deep and dangerous this situation could become. Within minutes, 2 police cruisers raced down Matthew's street, lights flashing and sirens muted. The responding officers quickly approached Matthew's garage, their faces stern yet calm. One officer gently took the evidence bag from Matthew's shaking hands, examining the disturbing contents carefully. We'll handle this from here," the officer reassured, offering Matthew a sympathetic nod. Matthew, still shaken, asked if they knew more about what he had uncovered. The officer glanced briefly at his partner before responding cautiously, "We've already identified the officer who previously owned your vehicle. But first, we need to visit the impound lot where you purchased the car." Confused and uneasy, Matthew asked why this was necessary. The officer's reply was cryptic yet firm. "The former owner's identity and intentions need immediate verification. We must confirm some details first hand." Feeling an anxious twist in his stomach, Matthew climbed into one of the patrol cars, sensing he had stumbled upon something far more complicated than a simple car purchase. Upon arriving at the impound lot, they were greeted by the same owner who had casually sold Matthew the car earlier. He waved cheerfully at first, but his smile quickly vanished when he noticed the serious demeanor of the officers accompanying Matthew. The officers wasted no time, questioning him thoroughly about how the vehicle ended up there. Under scrutiny, the impound lot owner quickly explained everything. "A police officer brought that vehicle in," he confessed nervously. "He said it was destined for demolition, which is standard procedure sometimes." The owner led them hurriedly into his cluttered office, nervously fumbling through a dusty filing cabinet until finally locating the proper document. He presented a signed paper proving the car's previous owner had personally authorized its demolition. One officer carefully studied the document, his jaw tightening visibly. Turning to his partner, he murmured, "We've finally got him." With heavy expressions, the officers finally revealed everything to Matthew. The car he'd bought was indeed an undercover police vehicle, directly linked to a notorious, unsolved bank robbery. The disgraced officer who once owned the sedan had abruptly resigned immediately after concluding the case. Now, it was clear why he had been involved himself, orchestrating a daring robbery and attempting to bury the evidence along with his police career. Matthew listened in disbelief, feeling his heartbeat pound through his chest. "It all makes sense now," one officer said grimly. The officer had volunteered for the investigation specifically to erase traces of his crime. Repainting the vehicle and ordering its destruction were calculated steps designed to destroy incriminating evidence. But he hadn't counted on someone like Matthew stumbling across his hidden secret. Realizing the severity of the situation, Matthew swallowed hard, his voice barely a whisper. "What happens next?" The officers exchanged a brief, knowing glance before one responded confidently, "We set a trap. We'll lure him back using the car." That evening, a carefully staged news report aired, announcing the discovery of crucial evidence found in a vehicle purchased at a police auction. They anticipated the culprit would panic upon seeing the broadcast, compelled to return and destroy what he left behind. Their plan hinged entirely on the former officer's fear, and their assumption proved correct. Under cover of darkness, someone breached the impound lot fence later that same night, desperately attempting to access the incriminating evidence inside the sedan. Unbeknownst to him, hidden officers already waited silently nearby. When he entered the car, floodlights illuminated the area, and multiple police units swiftly converged, arresting him without incident. Matthew watched the unfolding drama on the evening news, feeling an overwhelming sense of relief and satisfaction. His accidental discovery had revived a long, cold investigation and led to justice finally being served. But, despite his relief, a small disappointment lingered. He was still without a car. Recognizing Matthew's bravery and quick thinking, the local police department decided to reward him generously. A few days later, Matthew received a call inviting him back to the impound lot. "Choose any car you want," the officers told him warmly, their appreciation genuine. Grateful and proud, Matthew selected another vehicle loan, free of criminal secrets and hidden pasts. As he drove home that day, Matthew felt a profound sense of pride. What began as an innocent purchase had transformed him into a key player in solving a serious crime. More than just owning a new car, Matthew now held an unforgettable story of courage, luck, and integrity he knew he'd share proudly for years to come.